history. Arsenal, of course, beaten in the final only last May. A huge number of Arsenal fans have made the journey across the Irish Sea. So many Irish supporters of the Gunners too. It promises to be a very special occasion, Damien.
Yeah, it's an incredible occasion for a pre-season friendly. It just shows you the reach of Arsenal Football Club, how big they actually are, that they can fill out the Aviva Stadium for a pre-season friendly. But it's a huge opportunity for Arsenal fans who don't necessarily get to see them on a weekly basis, to show their appreciation for the work that they did last year, and also the children that get to come here and see these superstars in the flesh. I was watching players warming up near the touchline, the amount of kids that were just stood in awe looking at these players, seeing their physique up close and personal. It's a huge moment, and I hope the game lives up to it.
It's the 8th time that Arsenal have played in Ireland, their very first pre-season friendly here, way back in 1948. Let's take a check on the teams for you then. England's World Cup foursome, Messrs Rice, Saka, Eze and Madueke are still on leave. So too skipper Martin Odegaard and goalkeeper David Raya. Saliba and Timber injured, of course. So Mikel Arteta has named the same 11 that started Saturday's 4-1 win in Spain against Girona. New signing Christos Solis and 16-year-old sensation Max Dowman amongst the scorers in that one. No fewer than 17 players on the bench, including 9 teenagers. Some unfamiliar names there. We can expect plenty of changes. And as you can see, Brazilian duo Gabriel and Gabriel Martinez also on the bench, so they should get their first pre-season minutes tonight. Time. Rob Hennessy tossing the coin. Late change of captain for Betis this evening, and it's the name that leaps off this team sheet. Number 2, Hector Bellerin, 9 years at Arsenal. He played in 3 FA Cup finals for them, and he won them all. Bartra, Nathan and Pablo Fornals, the only survivors from their defeat in the UEFA Conference League final against Chelsea 2 seasons ago. A couple of big names on their bench. Isco, once of Real Madrid, of course, and the ex-Manchester United man, Anthony. And then there's the former Leeds United duo, Diego Llorente and Junior Firpo. Those 3 have different records against Arsenal when they've met in the Premier League. Christos Solis, who joined Arsenal just under a fortnight ago, best part of €35 million from Club Brugge, had a fantastic season for them last season. In their change strip this evening. This is their 3rd kit of the campaign. Betis in their familiar green and white stripes. In the World Cup, we have a countdown on the big screen that all the fans can join in. We're underway. Arsenal in the yellow, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. This, their 3rd pre-season friendly. They beat MK Dons behind closed doors comfortably, and then at the weekend, that 4-1 win in Spain against Girona. For Betis, this is game number 6 for them. They've won 4 out of 5, including a very emphatic 4-0 success over Lyon of France. So it'll be interesting to see how up to speed the Spanish side are compared to their English opponents. But one would feel, Damien, that even without some of their big stars, Arsenal will have more than enough to get a victory under their belts this evening.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, rule number 1 for a lot of established professionals during pre-season is just don't get injured. You're looking to build your minutes, build your base for the the marathon season that's ahead. They won't take any risk with players tonight. Lovely ball for Calafiori.
Arsenal on the move already. It's Havertz trying to pick a pass. He's found it. And Jacques sees it cleared dramatically inside the 6-yard box by Betis. Barely played a minute, and Arsenal could already be 1 to the good.
That's an incredible miss. He finds himself in one-on-one with the keeper. Just seemed to lack a real conviction. Just watching and making a note of how expansive Arsenal have started. Lewis Skelly is at the base of the midfield, but Calafiori going into that central midfield role as well. I think Capier, Arsenal reverting to almost a 3 at the back, which creates a huge overload. Betis really struggled to live with it. Joker has been very disappointed with himself that he didn't tuck that one away. Gilt-edged chance.
Well, Halas did enough initially, and then it's helped on its way by Fran Garcia. Arsenal now with this free kick on their right-hand side. Square for White, and then pull back again. Tossed into the penalty area. Betis at the moment stretched. Arsenal probing. Ranieri's ball in, just too strong for Mosquera, who was trying to make a menace of himself in there.
Yeah, it's a dominant start from Arsenal. Betis haven't had the ball yet. And complete the pass. And they'll get it back again and mount another attack.
Excellent work from Lewis Skelly, and here come Arsenal again. Calafiori. Near side is Solis. Good tackle by Bellerin.
Calafiori is causing absolute mayhem in the middle of the park. They haven't accounted for him because he's drifting in from left back, and he's, like I say, he's an unaccounted player, and the Betis midfield players don't know whether they're coming or going. It's a real bright start to the game, Calafiori.
Pablo Garcia. He scored 3 goals in pre-season, Garcia, but he's given that away. Ranieri. He's down and strong enough to hold off challengers, which was a bit scruffy. Calafiori. Solis.
Good energy by Arsenal tonight. You can see it. Just a crispness of the passing. Working the ball from side to side, retaining possession. Real dominant start from them.
Familiar chant. Arsenal echoes around the Aviva, so we're used to hearing that echoing around the Emirates. Arsenal have lost it here. Maybe a chance for Betis to get inside enemy territory. Scassi with the ball in. Arsenal get it away, but then give it away. Bartra for Buare. Far side is Fran Garcia. Kelmy with him. First chance to have a run at White. He's forced inside and then wins himself a free kick.
I feel it's going to be a big season for Mosquera at centre-back with that injury that Gary referenced to Saliba. There is an opening spot there, and at times last year he proved himself more than able deputy. I think he's going to get a huge run of games, and Capier obviously can fill in at left-back or left-side centre-back. Real versatility to that Arsenal back four.
Pablo Fornells, the former West Ham United man, is over this set piece. Number 4, Nathan, is good in the air. Mark Bartra also useful. Really lightly targets as it's tossed in. It's easily claimed by Kepa, who wants to get Arsenal on the move swiftly. He might just have succeeded. Zola speeding away on this near side. Going goes the way of the Spanish outfit. Zolis has actually played at the Aviva before, scored here on international duty with Greece in a Nations League game back in September 24.
Don't remind us, Martin, we have to watch an awful lot of these Greek players. We seem to get paired with them nearly every international cycle. He's a top player and a real good addition, and I do think he is an upgrade on Trossard. As good as Trossard was last year, this guy's a real good operator. We have seen an awful lot of him.
Lewis Skelly. So a lot of him, of course, as a left-back in his fledgling Arsenal career, but a few games in midfield towards the back end of last season, including the Champions League final. That's where we're expecting him to operate this evening. So fluid, Arsenal.
Yeah, that's the word, man. Really fluid. I'm just watching Calafiori, been fixated on him since the game started. The ease with which he rolls into that midfield role, and Hincapié slides out here to left side of three centre-backs. Just almost seems like a real understanding. There will be triggers for it. You see him there again, just going on the back side of the Betis midfield. Very, very hard to deal with when the left-back goes in and plays number 10.
There's Hincapié for Ecuador in the World Cup. Gyökeres, who played for Sweden, of course. Calafiori just caught underneath his feet momentarily. Barca clears. And a chance for Bernal to get it on its way, but Garcia was forced inside. Back to Nathan.
Yeah, Hincapié did brilliant there. You know, when Calafiori goes into that position and it breaks down, they have a real good solid structure behind it. The back three and Lewis Skelly, they're the four disciplined ones that make sure that they don't get counter-attacked and they're locked on. And Hincapié, as you said, can play at left-back and at centre-back, so he's more than able to go in after the attackers.
First ever meeting between these clubs. Betis haven't actually played many English sides in their history, just Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool and Nottingham Forest last season in the Europa League. 2-2 draw in Spain, that one. There's Pablo Garcia. Decent effort, pushed away by Kepa. Bit of a wobble in that shot too, but just a sign of his ability.
Yeah, it all came from a throw-in over on that right-hand side. It was fired inside to Gyökeres. He was on his heels. I don't think he was expecting it. Betis intercepted it and set themselves on an attack and shifts it onside on that left foot. Kepa with a reasonably good save. Fortunate that it does fall to Mosquera. I'd like to see him get that wide, perhaps even out for a corner. First signs of life from Betis.
This is the first corner of the game. Missed by Kepa. Chance to the back post that is hammered home by Riquelme. And Real Betis take the lead. It's awful defending by Arsenal, who scored so many goals themselves last season with set pieces, and they're undone with one here. Arsenal 0, Real Betis 1.
Kepa's fuming. He wants a free kick, and I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he deserves it. He came into traffic, and he lacked conviction. As he comes in there, yeah, I'm sorry, nobody's in his way there. Doesn't even get off the ground. Did you see him? Nah, not for me. Got to be stronger there. Gets nudged off that ball, and it's an absolute calamitous start for Kepa. I didn't feel filled with confidence with that save. They didn't get it wider, and then he makes an atrocious error, and Betis find themselves 1-0 up.
Rodrigo Riquelme, formerly of Atletico Madrid. He has played for Spain a couple of times, but was not involved in their World Cup squad over the summer months. But he's given Real Betis a surprise lead here after Arsenal dominated the opening exchanges. But that was such a bad goal to concede, and there'll be a few fingers pointing. Goalkeeper certainly for his involvement in that goal.
Yeah, I mean, when you come across this like that, you got to have peripheral vision. You know, you have your eyes on the ball, but out the corner of your eye, you have to see where the opposition players are. And if you need to take a sidestep around him, that's what you do. But he came, and I think he lacked conviction. Yes, there was a slight contact or a brushing of an attacker. He's got to be stronger there for me, Kepa.
Didn't get much of a look in last season. Kepa obviously behind David Raya. And his 12 games, there was only one Premier League start, which was on the last day of the campaign, when, of course, everything was done and dusted. Melier, who has joined the club over the summer months from Leeds United, will threaten him for the deputy spot. And will probably get a run out as this game stretches into the second half.
Fascinating just watching the Arsenal midfield. Well, the back three are keeping it. You've got two 10s in Havertz and Calafiori, Nwaneri and Skelly at the base of it, and then they roll out of it to Calafiori, but they got 4 in that central area against a Betis 3. You see Havertz there demanding that ball. It's really, really tough to play against when you get that overload in the middle of the park. Wide players are staying high and wide. Doman on one side, Solis on the other.
Nathan was calm. Barcia will clear. Capia will win that one. And that one. Now Ranieri for Arsenal. Barcia's challenge was a good one. Mikel Arteta, who won here with Arsenal back in 2020 when they played Dundalk in the Europa League. A game that was played behind closed doors. And confirmed Arsenal's 100% record in the group stage of that competition in that particular season.
Just looking at Havertz and Calafiori again, just on that backside. Didn't quite come off for him this time in Betis. Sent a counter-attack.
It's Pablo Garcia who shot, brought the save that brought the corner, that brought the goal. And there's definite signs now that Betis have grown into this game, obviously encouraged enormously by that goal. Arsenal's blistering start that brought that wonderful chance for Gyökeres with about a minute gone. Seems a while ago now. Here's Bartra. Excellent work by Pablo Fornals. But the pass looking for Bellerin, is behind him, and Arsenal get the throw.
Yeah, just speaking of Gyökeres, I think he needs a big season, needs a dominant season. Arsenal fans would point to his goal-scoring record and say that he did do well last year, but we want to see a real dominant Gyökeres, bullying centre-backs, run down the challenge, like we saw with Sporting Lisbon. That chance, unfortunately, just slipped by him.
21 goals in all competitions for the Swede last season, 14 of which were in the Premier League. That's his pass forward, but it's good work from Fran Garcia. It's back to Alvaro Valles.
He does look sluggish. It won't be harsh to judge him in the opening 13 minutes, but I don't think he retained possession yet with the ball up to him. Obviously that chance that he missed.
There's a poor challenge on Mosquera there that brings the whistle. And brings the free kick. Pablo Fornals it was.
I'm just going to get a replay of it here. Just steps on. Well, I don't think there's anything malicious or anything intentional in that.
Lewis Kelly, in fact, wasn't it? Was on the receiving end.
And he's just giving Fornals a little bit of a look.
His West Ham days, Pablo Fornals played against Arsenal 7 times, never beat them, and lost 6 of the 7. Oh, that's beautiful. Through the legs of Solis. Finished 5th last season in La Liga at Real Betis. And the highest for 4 seasons. Also reached the quarter-finals of the Europa League and the quarter-finals of the Copa del Rey. There are no mugs. And they're without some of their big hitters from the off this evening. This is Nathan sending Ranieri out of the picture.
Yeah, that goal really has settled him down, hasn't it? That bright Arsenal start, the lights must have flashed before their eyes and thought they were in for a long night, but that mistake has just turned the tide. Arsenal just need to get a foothold in this game as well, wrestle that ball back and start applying a little bit of pressure, because at the moment Betis have it very, very easy.
This is Barcia. Trophies aplenty in his career at Barcelona. Buade. Now Nathan.
Just watching Pellegrini down here below us berating Mark Bartra for not stepping in, checking out and choosing a square pass.
Still full of passion, Manuel Pellegrini. He turns 73 next month. Talk about longevity. longevity. Mascara was in a rush and has given it away. Riquelme picks it up. He steps wide for Arsenal. Dowman. Stopped by Brunel.
He's got to release that. Ben White went with a great overlap, and now he's out of position.
From Betis again, hungry for a second, and it's hurriedly turned behind by Ranieri, and now Betis get their second corner.
Yeah, I mean, Dolman did brilliant at the start of that move, just to wrestle his way free. He's got to see Ben White ahead of him and just roll it into the space, but he goes for the nutmeg, and no, Arsenal is defending a corner. That won't have gone unnoticed with Mikel Arteta.
In by 4-0 again. Still, Arsenal do get it away initially. Capier, the pressure from Riquelme. So this. Calafiore, chance to move it right, down on his far side. Square of Calafiore is White. Straight off the head of Bellerin. And it's Pablo Garcia for Betis.
Cheap giveaways from Arsenal. And that pass from Calafiore was behind Ben White. Had a check out and then tries to hit this big rake and diagonal that wasn't really on.
Riquelme. Fran Garcia making strides to his left. Stopped by Dowman.
Great work from the youngster, tracking back, helping out.
It's Dowman, of course, Arsenal's youngest ever starter. Did that in a League Cup game last October, aged just 15 and 302 days. As the lads were saying prior to kick-off, what a bright future he has at his feet. Ball given away carelessly by the goalkeeper. Did he then foul Solis? Not according to the referee, he didn't. It's another decent opportunity that Arsenal have been unable to grasp.
What is the goalkeeper seen there? It's not like Solis filled that passing lane, just passed it straight to him.
Ball hasn't gone out. Havertz will have a chance to win himself a throw, and does, off Pablo Garcia, who a bit of a meal of that. White. This is Havertz. White. Jokeres trying to bustle his way beyond Nathan. Free kick's been given.
Yeah, they're the balls he likes. That's the exact situation that Jokeres looks for. That ball just rolled down the side, gets his body in the way, feels the centre-back, feels the pressure, and uses that big frame that he has just to either roll him or draw a foul. Referee gives the foul. He's just holding him. Correct call from the referee, but that's what Jokeres likes. Those lovely little balls roll down the side. Just get a replay here of the goalkeeper. Like I said, just passes straight to Solis. He tries, I think, to toe poke it to Jokeres. That's such a risky ball from the goalkeeper. It wasn't on. Pass just a little bit too heavy. Arsenal set-piece coach out the edge of his technical area. I'm sure they will have something up their sleeve here. It's a difficult one. It's perhaps too wide to get a direct shot on goal.
Well, Arsenal have three players around it. So leaving it for Ranieri to have a go. Four in the wall. Do their job. Garcia has lost it. Capia. Solis. Calafiori.
Tienes que recibir más dentro, Ricky. ¡Listos!
Also having to come all the way back to go forward again. Good shape in this Betis defensive line. Pellegrini organising them from the touchline. Well drilled.
Yeah, just look at those central midfield players there. Ranieri, Lewis Skelly just start getting on the ball. Trying to find those little gaps. They are trying. Not many of them there, but just have to make an effort.
Scared out for White. Down. Good work from Frank Garcia again. Down. Calafiori. Now one, Yeri. Gyökeres. Down and took on three. Betis clear through Bellerin.
Yeah, it's just that passage of play is what I'm talking about. That ball from Calafiori just split right between the two further forward Betis players. Ranieri takes it on the turn, drives forward, and in turn splits the midfield pairing, sets Arsenal on their way. Real slick, impressive play that from Arsenal.
Just about enough seats on the in the dugout for all the Arsenal substitutes tonight. 17 in total.
The staff, I'm more impressed with it. Sitting behind the dugout.
Capier's nudged it on. Ranieri to his right for Down. Down was looking for the run of Havertz. Some of the crowd wanting the youngster to have a crack from there.
Yeah, he did look to slip, and I'm not sure it was on. The Betis defenders had retreated. He gets back and atones for his misplaced pass again. Good work right from him.
Skelly. Solis. Darsha in the way of that. As Ranieri moves it right for White. Havertz.
Arsenal fans at the moment can't believe they just won the Premier League, and today completed the signing of Bruno Guimaraes, one of the most dynamic midfield player in the Premier League, and adding him into this squad, a huge boost for them.
Havertz has got it. Nearly 25 minutes on the clock. Apart from that first-minute effort from Gyökeres and his errant pass, the goalkeeper of Betis has had very little to do. Calafiori trying to just nudge that into the path of Solis, but good defending again from Real Betis. Now a chance maybe with Diosa to get Pablo Garcia moving down this right-hand side again. Kelme, the goal scorer, is making his way towards the penalty area. Diosa, Arsenal got plenty back now. And it's straight to Down. Slice from Kepa, but he's gobbled up by Fran Garcia, and now it's Riquelme. Pablo Fornals with the shot. What a goal from Diosa! It's 2-0 Betis now. And the gloom deepens for Mikel Arteta. And Manuel Pellegrini in the opposite technical area. Can't believe what he's seeing here. If the first goal was opportunistic, the second is an absolute cracker from Nelson Diosa. The Uruguayan thumped it with great pace into the top corner, and Kepa was left floundering.
It's a strike from Diosa. Finds himself just on the edge of the D, gets it out of his feet, clean as you like. All came from Kepa's skewed clearance, just allowed Betis to recycle it, keep the pressure on. And having said that, some things you can't account for in football, and that is as pure a strike as you're likely to see. Kepa had absolutely no chance. As you said, the first goal, Arsenal brought it on themselves, but the whole pile you can do about a strike like that, and Arteta raises his eyebrows, and rightly so.
The Premier League champions are in a bit of trouble here in this pre-season friendly that was supposed to be a challenge, but a challenge that you'd expect them to come through even without some of their biggest stars. They're 2 down and are in a spot of trouble.
Yeah, right after that goal was scored, Arteta came to the edge of his technical area and called Calafiori over. I just wonder what he was saying to him, because the opening couple of minutes I referenced how solid Arsenal looked out of possession, or sorry, when they had possession on the attack. You know, the back three and Lewis Skelly sitting in front, and how they were able to slow down the counter-attacks. Well, since Betis have got into their stride, they've been really, really good at countering Arsenal. Perhaps that move that I was so impressed with Calafiori going into midfield, there's no turning against him. I'm just curious to see what Arteta did say to Calafiori, to wonder if he is going to stop that for a little bit, just to give them a little bit of solidity.
Skelly. Arsenal fans came here in great number, expecting to see their team produce the kind of quality that won them the Premier League last term and got them close to winning the treble. It's the fun of the Champions League and the League Cup, of course. But for a very bright first minute, they have struggled really to show their quality since then. Real Betis have got stronger and stronger as the half has gone on. Zealous is reclaimed. Lewis Skelly can't find Gyökeres, and comfortable for Nathan.
Open, man, open! Nice, close!
Solis. There's White. Dowman. He's got away from Frank Garcia, probably for the first time tonight. Clever. Ranieri couldn't make the most of that. And it'll be a goal kick.
Just a glimpse of what Max Doman is capable of. Beautiful take with that ball into him, using his body to shield it. Skips by Fran Garcia, gets to the end line. Very, very nearly picks out Ranieri with a real clever ball. Just nutmegs Fran Garcia. Good work by Riara to get back into to stop that. He's such a talent, Doman. Really, really hope he kicks on and gets lots of minutes this year, because he's so exciting.
Here's Solis. White. First touch was heavy. Nathan got a toe in. Scara. Clever ball. Adams. Dowman. Good pass for Solis. He's in it now. And by the time he did, Pablo Garcia was in the way. Better for Arsenal.
Great challenge from Pablo Garcia, first of all. Really, really great work rate to see the overload. The bust had got in a pre-season friendly to get back. You see him here, he's on the wrong side of Solis. As soon as it breaks to him, He recognises his mistake, gets in with a great block. And real prominent in this first half. In possession, Pablo Garcia just showing his defensive worth there. Also that familiar setup that we saw so often last year. All those players hanging out the back.
31 minutes gone. Arsenal's first corner of the game. Zolis, who has good delivery. Was in there too, but it's an awful error from Alvaro, who just missed it completely as he tried to flap it away. Arsenal gifted a route back into the game. It's Arsenal 1, Real Betis 2.
I'd just be curious, did Betis at any point last season watch Arsenal? Because they're known for this, starting at the back and just fly in, crowd the central 6-yard box, ball right on the money. Similar to Kepler, goalkeeper's got to do an awful lot more there. There's not a lot of contact from Havertz. He just lands plumb on Nkapie's head. And Arsenal give their fans something to cheer about.
But hold on a moment, Pablo Garcia was in momentarily, but the flag is up.
Very fortunate Arsenal there from the goal kick. Somehow found themselves in a 2v2. They lost the first header, fortunately for Arsenal. Pablo Garcia just drifted half a yard offside. I'm not sure he needed to be because he had a good possession on Calafiori. You're going to see it here. Gets inside Calafiori. I just realised he's run offside there. He has a chance to bend that run and arc it. It would have been through on goal.
White down. Lewis Skelly caught him 3 miles there, I think. He was gifted it straight to Buade. And now it's Riquelme. Well, Betis want to restore their 2-goal advantage. Riquelme might just have a shot there. Didn't catch it cleanly, but Kepler was moving to his left initially and had to move his feet quickly to get across to his right.
So impressive on the counter-attack. Betis, as this half has wore on, they become more and more efficient. Arsenal turn it over cheaply. Lewis Skelly this time, they go right at that Arsenal back three, and they're getting an awful lot of joy from it.
Calafiori. Skelly rather, with a chance to drift it far side for Downing. Garcia as tight as he can be initially.
Got a great way of using his body dome, and just even the way he took that ball, just chested it on the safe side and then sticks his backside in the way so Fran Garcia can't get it.
White's cross, Owens header away. The drop for Zolis. Ranieri. Now White. It's a foul by Buade.
Quite half Ranieri. Doesn't look at all happy. Buare seems to be getting under his skin. A little bit of pushing and dragging there off the ball. It's almost so the referee's going to step in. He's getting a little bit frustrated. Ranieri.
Time to go to half-time. It's the set piece, which Lewis Skelly will take. And the ball in for Havertz, brought it down beautifully on the chest, looking for Gyökeres, stabbed away by Fran Garcia. Calafiori, Havertz, Solis. So wait for the ball to come down, and by the time it did, the offside flag had been raised far side.
Such a pleasure to watch him, Kai Havertz play football, the way he just effortlessly glides into those inside pockets and takes possession at his leisure and just moves it on. Unfortunately, just wandered into an offside position, but going to be a huge player for Arsenal this season, Havertz, if they keep him fit for the entirety of the season. If Arsenal do retain the Premier League title, he will be central to it.
Up and under from Havertz there. Bartra careful of the bounce. Gyökeres has done well to get his body in the way first for Arsenal, but can't quite stab it towards Solis, but he was being fouled. It's another Arsenal free kick that Bartra's none too pleased about.
Even Havertz's up and unders are a thing of beauty. Worked out for him well there. Gyökeres gets his body in, backs in. You see the arm around him there, and Bartra just forced him to the floor. Right decision. And this is a better position for Arsenal than the last free kick that they had. It's a nice distance out to get the ball up and down in time.
Mikel Arteta looks a bit happy with things now. Alvaro Valles was badly at fault for the goal, and prior to that, of course, that awful pass that almost fell at the feet for Solis to score for Arsenal. So he's not having the best of nights thus far, so I wonder if either Gyökeres or Solis will take him on from this distance. Gyökeres looks like he has paced out his run, and he will have a crack. That's just with players in the way, and now maybe a chance to launch a counter with that man Pablo Garcia again making the running. Not happy with his options, so it's back for Facundo Bernal. Kelmy. Fury's clearance wasn't a good one. Straight to the Ossa. And now it's Pablo Garcia. Brings the save out of Kepa once more. Finding it all too easy, it seems, Damien, to break through this Arsenal defence.
Yeah, I mean, they're helped there by Calafiori with a really poor pass out of defence. So they slightly are bringing a lot of it on themselves. I love what Pablo Fornals does here. This is the pass. You see what he's trying to do. Catch Kepa before he's set. Just arc that one in at the far post. Kepa gets his angles right, gets on well, and makes a good save. There's an edginess to Arsenal. They do seem to be being got at quite easily by the Betis players. That'll concern Mikel Arteta, especially on the turnover. They do look very vulnerable.
Here's Wanyeri. Stopped by Fran Garcia. The referee felt it was legal. That was okay by White.
I thought he was going to get a foul there, Doman. Just used his body really well to shield the ball. And White actually just pushing over the stop the counter attack.
There's so many substitutes available to Arsenal this evening, of course, and we might well get a look at Gabriel Martinelli, who haven't been involved in the pre-season thus far. Nathan looking to tally up here under pressure from the upper edge.
Well, that's a great ball from Lewis Skelly, just slipping down the side. And again, Gyökeres just looks on his heels, didn't read it, didn't see it. Such a clever ball from Lewis Skelly.
Foul, bit of afters between him and Facundo Bernal. A couple of skirmishes from Ranieri this evening, Damien.
Yeah, I think it's frustration on his part. He's not really been in this game. When you're a young player in pre-season and you get minutes like this, they're so valuable to you, and you want to impress because you want to show the manager that you do have what it takes, especially with the signing of Bruno Guimaraes today. You might be phoning your agent thinking, are my days numbered here? And he looked at a game like tonight, I've got to start. Can I impose myself on this game? Can I leave an imprint on it? So far it just seems to be passing him by. Can't seem to get on it. And I think those little outbursts, he's at 2 or 3 now, are more frustration because he's not in the game than anything else.
Finished last season, of course, on loan with Marseille in the French league. And, with so many quality players available to Mikel Arteta, it might be a similar story again this term. Riquelme for Real Betis. In. Lewis Skelly's foul. Garcia. From down. Slow from Havertz and careless. And it's 3-1. It's so easy. It's so easy. And Pablo Fornal's just passed it into the bottom corner. And again, it's a self-inflicted wound by Arsenal. They got themselves back in the game. And with half-time just around the corner, they're now 2 behind again. It's pretty comfortable thus far for the Spanish outfit, and they lead the English champions by 3 goals to 1.
Yeah, I was just about to compliment Max Doman on the half that he's had. He's been really impressive, and no sooner does he win it back, gives it to Kai Havertz, and similar to Calafiori just previous, just a real cheap one. Didn't have to work for that at all, just plays it straight to him. Take nothing away from the finish. It's really good. That's as sloppy as you're going to get from Kai Havertz. That's lazy more than anything else. That's a great finish. That kept it absolutely no chance. And a former West Ham man celebrates.
You have to say as well, Damien, that on chances created, Betis deserve this lead.
No, absolutely. You know, and they've been really good in the counter-attack. They've been real slick, dropping into the shape. Arsenal going side to side. When they win it back, they're really efficient. Add that into the fact that Arsenal keep giving the ball away in their own defensive third. It's been a real good half of them. Pellegrini will be absolutely delighted. And the way the game started, he wouldn't have been expecting this. His team of 3-1 up and fully deserved to be in on the left side.
Well, there's been going to be a glut of changes from both coaches at half-time, particularly from Mikel Arteta. He will be far from impressed with the performances of so many in yellow thus far.
Yeah, look, they were so good against Girona and really did look a slick over it, but tonight it's just been soft, and I say lazy because that's what it is. That pass from Havertz never even looked, he's played it blind. Calafiori's had a couple, they've all had a couple really, which has just given wind to the sails of Betis. And the manager would be particularly concerned with the ease of what they've been got at.
Just 1 minute of added time then. As Calafiori tries to get away from Pablo Garcia. He's gone down. Garcia then brings Calafiori down, and Arsenal get the free kick. A needle out there, isn't there?
Yeah, Pablo Garcia, sorry, and Calafiori have had a little bit of a set two here down in front of us. It looks like that's carried on. Great strength from Calafiori as he turns. You just see, puts out that outstretched arm just to protect the ball. Not sure there's anything in that really. Maybe just grazed the chin of Pablo Garcia. But again, I would say that's more frustration from Arsenal's point of view. They haven't really been able to impose themselves on this game in an attacking sense.
Mr. Solis. He's found the cross. Plenty up there for Arsenal. Won't quite drop for them. And it's hacked away by Facundo Bernal. And that is the half-time whistle. Well, work to do for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Real Betis have been fabulous in this first half. Riquelme gifted an opener after the mistake by Kepa, and a wonderful strike to make it 2-0 from Diossa. Capier pulling one back for Arsenal after Alvaro Valles has got his punch horribly wrong, and then Pablo Fornells gifted another goal for Betis after the mistake by Havertz. Well, Betis looking very good, Arsenal looking very, very poor. Work to be done second half, but he does have members of the cavalry on the bench available to him, Mikel Arteta. Let's see what happens in the second half. Plenty to come during the break, of course, but at the break here at the Aviva, Arsenal 1, Real Betis 3.
Leverkusen versus Sevilla, live this Saturday on Premier Sports 1.
Donate your cans and bottles in the orange bin and your deposit helps support local causes. Return it right.
Want salon quality hair every day? 8 in 10 think the answer is Tresemme Professional Thermo Sculpt Memory. For hair that feels healthier, to help lock in up to 72-hour style resilience.
It's the new Tresemme.
Try it.
Facing your first challenge? With AIG, you'll be ready for what's next. But first, take 10% off your next car insurance quote at aig.ie. AIG. Forward we go.
Striker is on the move. He cuts inside. Now he dribbles past one defender. He's heading towards the box. He shoots!
I'm in heaven when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
We have a loyalty scheme.
Oh, those two words don't sound great together. How do I join this loyalty scheme?
Simple. Just give us your personal details.
What?
Download the app. Save your receipts. Search for discounted products. Check voucher expiry dates. And don't forget to scan your card.
Okay. Or you could just lower your prices.
Unexpected item in bagging area.
Aldi don't do loyalty schemes, just low prices every day. It's not complicated.
Let's try and do this. Trick shot challenge, take 1. Action. Take 10. Come on! Dad, I did it!
Let's get you cleaned up.
What's that?
This gets the tough stuff out first time. New Persil Ultimate Non-Bio is gentle next to my little champion's skin, and it's packed with added stain removal power. Try our best non-bio. Always keep away from children.
Take 7. Better, faster, stronger.
Half-time here at the Aviva. There's lots more football coming your way. Plenty of Scottish Cup football coming your way in a couple of weeks' time. We've got Kilmarnock up against Ayr United. That's on the 14th of August. Kick-off there at 7:45 live on Premier Sports 1. Also live on Premier Sports 1 on the 15th, 5:45 kick-off between Dundee United and Celtic. And then the Premier Sports Cup. Rangers against St Mirren the 16th of August, then 4 o'clock kick-off between Rangers and St Mirren. So the Premier Sports Cup, plenty of football on the way. But here at the Aviva, it is advantage very much Real Betis after that first half. An absolute screamer for their second goal from Nelson Diossa. They are firmly in control. They lead 3-1 at the break against the Premier League champions Arsenal. Not what we expected, I think, Gary and Niall.
No, it really hasn't been. It's been Arsenal quite unrecognisable in terms of how easy they are on the turnover, that they're attacking on the edge of Betis' box, and then Betis can travel the whole length of the pitch and get a strike off. Sloppy in terms of giving the ball away and not having that physical presence at the base of their midfield to shot and stop those shots from distance.
Yeah. We'll have a look then at the first goal, because it didn't take them long, did they?
Well, we spoke about Arsenal set pieces, but we should have spoke about this is the way not to defend. This is very poor from now. I think I have a little bit of sympathy for the keeper here. I think there's a bit of a nudge. We'll see it on one of the replays. See just there. Enough to knock a big fella off, maybe not, but when the fella who does it, you see the little nudge there, he puts puts his hands up in the air, and that's a sure sign to say, hey, I never touched him, ref. That means he did. So a slight bit of sympathy for the keeper on that one.
But a fabulous finish all the same.
Yeah, he had to control it and get it down and keep it down, but not great Arsenal defending, to say the least.
Right, well, let's roll through the goals, because we've 4 to get through. The next one, we saw a glimpse of it just there as we came back from the break. It was a fabulous goal from Nelson Diossa, just an absolute screamer.
It really was, and you can't help but think that Arsenal was their own undoing with a poor clearance from the goalkeeper initially. And it's just the kind of apathy in terms of protecting that zone in front of your back four. And the real problem for me is definitely Lewis Skelly, who's playing a hybrid sweeper role tonight. And he's caught whether or not he should drop between the two centre-halves or go out and screen the space, and he does neither.
And it's even now when it goes out, it's a real lethargic attempt to go out and make a block. Like, you know, the first thing you say, stop shots, stop shots. He's got it out of his feet, the ball is flying, you know, like, it's going to come at pace, do everything you can to block it. He hasn't. It's typical of what Arsenal have been like. They've been lethargic, is the word I would use, in most everything they've done.
Yeah, very much a sense of...
Well, give credit for the goal, though.
Well, absolutely.
Hell of a strike.
Absolutely, a brilliant finish. Hincapié then got one back for Arsenal. Set piece, of course. Let's have a look at this.
And we look at goalkeepers today, and we keep saying it, Niall and I, they're such a protected species. He's looking for a foul. There is no foul, similar to Klepper. And it's just such poor goalkeeping, really. He can pick up the flight. There's no real physical contact, and yet he goes under the ball, and it's a gift to Arsenal.
Yeah, Havertz does really well, just gets across him. He doesn't foul him, puts him off enough to... well, it shouldn't have put him off enough, but it does. He flaps at it, and it's an easy goal. And there's a bit of relief around the stadium, and even on the bench there, you can see the manager, OK, let's go. We've got over a bad start, let's go on. But it got worse.
Well, it did, didn't it? Because they conceded a third. Pablo Fornals able to make it 3-1 by the time they got in at the break. Let's have a look at this. But very much still the same story continually for Arsenal.
That will be so frustrating for Arteta, who puts so much pride in how difficult Arsenal are to play through. And of course, the likes of Bruno Guimaraes coming into the base of that midfield, which we feel has that ability to patrol. But that's such a cheap ball to give away. But it's the reaction more than anything else that they, again, Betis find space in that 10 area to be able to get their head up and strike from distance.
Yeah, it's a really poor pass from Kyle Havertz. But the interesting thing, I watch a good striker, gives the goalkeeper the eyes. The goalkeeper thinks it's going over the left side. Last minute he switches in the far corner. That's textbook striker play. I've got to give him a shout out for that. Have a look here, looks up, keeper thinks he's going left. There's the other one, he's going right. Great goal.
Keeper frustrated and flat-footed. For Arsenal, how much is this just down to the fact of where we are? Real Betis, they're further into their pre-season, they're looking sharper. Is that what Mikel Arteta will be saying and perhaps hoping?
No, I don't think he'd be saying that. I think he'd be disappointed in terms of how these players have performed, because when you get an opportunity, you got to take it, even in pre-season, and there'll be players knocking on his door saying, give me my chance, this is your chance. Hasn't gone as well as
I just wonder if the big signing news has upset them in midfield, because they've absolutely lost the midfield battle completely. It's like players are there unsure, uncertain, lethargic, and I just wonder, instead of reacting and going, right, we'll make it hard for this fellow when he comes in, I think they're making it easy for him to go straight in the team.
Okay, we will see what is ahead after the break. We will be back with you very shortly here at the Aviva. Can Arsenal get back into this one? Big second half coming for Mikel Arteta and Manuel Pellegrini.
More mega deals. The outdoor storage box, now €130, and the cordless hedge trimmer for only €45. But hurry, Woody's Bank Holiday mega deals won't last long. Woody's, we're all homemakers.
SSE Electricity is bringing you big deal energy this summer, so you too can score big. Saving up to €518 with a whopping 30% off electricity. Switch now and save big this summer. SSE Electricity, a different kind of energy.
All right, team, we've got less than 4 minutes before she gets her car insurance quotes. Brendan, you're up for the web chat if she wants assistance.
I wonder what kind of car she's going to get.
Focus, Brendan, focus.
RedClick, insurance that just clicks. Right now, when you buy car insurance, we'll give you a €40 retail voucher to spend as you like.
Harvey Norman, your furniture specialists. Discover our range of sofas and dining furniture today. Get comfort and style with our stunning modern motion sofas like the Cassie and Amelia, with a variety of size and colour options, allowing you to find the perfect match for your home. Upgrade your dining setting with beautiful oak extending dining tables like our best-selling Savannah, or bring that modern look to your space with our Lucy ceramic dining table. And with up to 36 months interest-free finance terms available, why wait? Harvey Norman, your furniture specialists.
Feel the difference with that fresh blade feeling that lasts time after time after time. Gillette Labs, our best ever razor, with up to 30 smooth shaves per
Bring a taste of Spain to your table with the new tapas range from Dunnes Stores. Perfect for sharing, entertaining and grazing. Mix and match any 3 for 2 on Spanish-inspired dishes, including Catalan-style beef meatballs, chorizo al vino and Spanish tortilla. Simply pick 3 and get the cheapest one free. Plus, you can save more with your 10 off 50 voucher. Dunnes Stores. Always better value.
The UEFA Super Cup final next week will be brought to you by FedEx and Follow Score.
Tech 7. Better, faster, stronger. Now test it to the extreme.
Well, welcome back to the Aviva Stadium. We are set for the second half with Arsenal trailing 3-1 against Real Betis. It looks as if the changes are being rung by Mikel Arteta. So let's get to our commentary team now. Damien Delaney, but first, Martin Fisher.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, as expected, a whole host of changes from Martinelli, Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson and Louis Copley, along with Marley Salmon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And by a process of elimination, the 4 that are staying out there, Kepa the goalkeeper, of course, Wanyeri, Calafiori, and also it's even harder when it's during the action itself, but 7 changes at half-time.
Yeah, I would say this was all pre-planned. It's not a reflection of the first half performance. All the players were out after 30 minutes on the sideline here warming up vigorously, so we didn't expect this raft of changes. But still, it's an opportunity for these players coming on now just to up the tempo, be a little bit better than the players they're replacing, and see if Arsenal can work their way back into this and perhaps get a result tonight.
Marley Salmon, only 16 years of age, turns 17 later this month. And the other name, perhaps you're not that accustomed to, Louis Copley, who is 19 years of age and came on as a sub on Saturday in that 4-1 win away to Girona in Spain. Midfielder, Marley Salmon is a fullback, and also change being made for Real Betis. Isco there, number 22, the vastly experienced former Spanish international, 34 years of age, 3 titles, 5 Champions Leagues whilst he was at Real Madrid. And Real Betis with this surprising but deserved 3-1 lead at the break, get us back underway. And Gabriel gets his first touch of pre-season with a confident header away that gets Arsenal on the ball. Martinelli. Oh, that's a brilliant move off the ball by Wanyeri. Reece Nelson waits in the box. The cross was delayed and the chance has gone.
Yeah, it just took too long. Wanyeri had the opportunity to perhaps work its way over, but Arsenal won it back again.
Won it back quickly. Martinelli. And that will bring Arsenal an early corner kick in this second half. Fabio Vieira's shot flipped behind.
And the main man, Gabriel, is on the pitch now. Such a menace last season from set plays for Arsenal. I'm sure he will do his usual, start on the edge and just make a beeline for the middle of the goal, pick up the flight of the ball.
Arsenal's goal came from a corner from their left-hand side. Let's see what this one produces. Betis trying to provide some protection to their goalkeeper Alvaro Velas, who managed to get something on that, but again didn't look that comfortable. Confirmation of all those changes on the screen at the moment, as Martinelli collects for Arsenal. There's Marley Salmon, has played for England at under 17 level. Martinelli with that busy stride of his. Calafiori. Garcia trying to prevent Martinelli from making progress. He's done his job again. Gabriel Calafiori. He's finding it difficult to shake off Pablo Garcia. Salmon for Gabriel. Handed away by Nathan. Kelmy gives it away. Yeah, they couldn't control.
Just a moment like that, man, when the ball gets fired into him. And we had that looking in the first half. That ball gets fired in, you got to take that on the half turn, get a shot away, similar to what the Betis players did in the first half, but it just squirms underneath him.
Header won by Salmon. Gabriel Jesus.
Just seems that intricate left-back play from Calafiori seems to be put a stop to start the second half. Playing more as an orthodox left-back as opposed to going in and playing as a number 10. Certainly more solid shape about Arsenal at the moment.
Gabriel concedes the free kick on Isco. Good work from Copley. Louis Skelly. Louis Copley.
Possession for Arsenal here, not really breaking any lines, a solid 4-4-2 shape. The two wide players for Betis just narrowing off, making the space in the middle very, very difficult. Arsenal have to work very hard to find some space.
Ranieri. Salmon. Copley moving along quickly for Gabriel Jesus. The pass was behind the youngster. Ball didn't go out, and it's an untidy challenge by Ranieri that brings Betis the free kick.
Yeah, it's difficult when you try and play in those middle areas because they've condensed that space, Betis. It's very, very difficult, and Arsenal not breaking lines, not finding pockets. And that turnover, they're so efficient.
Isco. Lovely back heel from Isco that Bellerin gets on the end of. Cross partially cleared, but Pablo Garcia will keep it alive. He also had another attempt towards goal.
Beautiful play from Isco, absolutely superb. Made a lovely little corner run, and a back heel to set them on their way. So a little bit of panic mode when that cross came in, scrambling to cover spaces, but they dealt with it. very static from Arsenal. Big Salmon in possession, not many options. Back three. Centre-backs having an awful lot of possession.
Calafiori has got away from Pablo Garcia, but in steps Bartra. It drops here for Gabriel Jesus. Eitan blocks that. Copley got his feet in the tangle and is dispossessed by Riquelme, and Copley has gone down in some discomfort. Looks like the left knee is the problem as Riquelme picks up Pablo Garcia with a wonderful pass. Garcia unable to take it in his stride, but the pressure is still on here. Here comes the cross, headed away by Salmon.
Yeah, they've got to stop this. Copley seems in a real bad way. He's clearly done something to his knee. Rob Hennessy finally stopping it, the medical attention on. It was an awkward one. He had possession of the ball and he just seemed to miss a step. Perhaps one of his studs got caught on the ground, but he went down clutching his knee and banging at the floor. Hopefully he's just overstretched and it's nothing too serious, but when you see players go down on a pose like that, unfortunately the worst thoughts do spring to mind. Oh yeah, just got his studs caught on the ground.
Straight away, he signalled to the bench that he was in difficulty there.
Yeah, I think they're trying to straighten it out, and it doesn't seem to want to. But he thought he had good possession, and he glanced over his left shoulder and saw that he was being closed down, and then just took a little step to his left. Whatever way his studs went into the turf. It doesn't look too good for the young man. Can't seem to straighten his leg, which is never a good sign.
He's back on his feet now, but clear that he's not going to be able to carry on. So that's a huge disappointment for the 19-year-old Louis Copley. He's only managed 9 minutes before his withdrawal.
He's in an awful amount of discomfort. You really feel sorry for the kid, really do, really do. You know, you work your whole career, come through the academy system, get into the first team and make your first team appearance, and you're on for 4 or 5 minutes.
A sympathetic round of applause from most inside the Aviva. Word from his manager as well, but it's a bitter blow for Louis Copley. But his misfortune opens the door for another youngster, 18-year-old Theo Julien, former England under-16 international. Got on at the weekend, but only for the last 4 minutes or so, so a longer spell for him this evening. But he wouldn't want it to have arrived with that kind of incident for one of his pals.
Yeah, look, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hopefully, you know, medial. Immediately you do think cruciate, and it could be a long road back for Louis Copley. As I said, you just feel real sorry for him that he came through the route he did, finally gets into the first team, albeit pre-season, but get a chance to play some first team football for Arsenal, which is no mean feat. They're desperately unlucky.
Garcia happy to go home. That's that note to Nelson. Now it's Lewis Skelly. Vieira. Arsenal boast a great record against Spanish side, unbeaten in the last 10 against them, winning 8 of the last 9, most recently that Champions League semi-final against Atleti at the Emirates back in May. In contrast, Betis only managed 1 victory over an English side in their history. It was against Chelsea some 21 years ago.
really struggling for some penetration here, Arsenal. As I said, the back two, and Lewis Skelly dropping in to get on him as well, but can't seem to break down this mid-block from Betis.
It took 3 to stop Vieira in the end, but it brings Arsenal a free kick. Played 30 minutes to the second half, and Arsenal still to lay a glove on their Spanish opponents.
Quite enjoyable first half. He's playing a good tempo, good pace, and what's happening with the start of the second half just seems to be a little bit flat.
Vieira was looking for the dancing run made by Gabriel Jesus, but Pablo Garcia was alert to the danger. 3 more changes imminent for Arsenal, including Liam Meslier, the goalkeeper signed from Leeds United over the summer. Been released by the Yorkshire club at the end of last season. There's Ranieri. There's Salmon. High drop here for Nelson, but the flag is up. Offside.
Good idea for Salmon. He's just got closed off. Didn't matter anyway, offside, but good idea from the young centre-back.
Some hesitation from Alvaro Velez. Lewis Skelly, flag up again, this time against Gabriel Jesus.
It was a tight one. A lot of the crowd that seemed to be in line with it are moaning, which often gives you a good indication. But better from Arsenal winning the ball back high up the pitch.
Despite his protestations, he was ahead of the last line of the Betis defence. Nathan. Kelman letting it run, and then was held back by Salmon, and that'll be a yellow card for the 16-year-old.
Super bit of play from Mikel, just come short, brought the young defender with him, left it through his legs. The defender doesn't have any other choice, just pulls him back.
Confirmation of that yellow then for Ali Salmon, as Arsenal make the 3 changes that we told you about. Ibrahim is on for Miles Lewis Skelly. Josh Okonkwo for Ricardo Calafiore. And Liam Meslier for Kepa. The 2 outfield players brought on by Arsenal, both 18 years of age.
You always feel games like this when the tempo goes out, there's 30 minutes left, you bring on young kids. It's a great opportunity for those young guys because there's no real tempo in the game. So go and get on the ball, go and try and make something happen. Go and make a mark on this game and leave an imprint on the manager's mind. So moving forward, you might consider to be in and around the first team squad. It's a great opportunity, and I just think somebody who watch these games just willing these kids on. Tendency can just be to come on and just go with the flow. The game is dead, it's dying. Just going to fall in with that and pass it simple, square and backwards.
Gabriel. Vieira. Ife Ibrahim. He's played for the England under-18 side. He's been at Arsenal since the age of 7. Did get a brief run out in the Champions League last season, Ibrahim. Made substitute appearance against Kara back in January. Martinelli, Nelson, Ranieri, of the ball, but they're just not hurting Real Betis. Here's Riquelme. Happy to carry it. Fran Garcia is with him. It's not a bad cutback. It's Isco. Still half a chance here for Betis as Isco whips it across to Pablo Garcia. Bellerin is in on the act, and Isco really should have made it 4. Went for the cheeky back heel, didn't get hold of it, and Meslier is able to make a save.
What a sweeping move from Betis, all the way from the goalkeeper here, slings out to Riquelme, and they just retain possession. 8, 9, 10 passes, work it down the side, and you're right. Isco with a real cheeky back heel, great when they come off, don't look so good when they go straight to the goalkeeper. Beautiful play from Betis. First time we've really seen him in the opening 20 minutes of the second half, but real good spell of play from him there.
It's a simple statement, and it's accurate. All the good performances tonight have come from players wearing green and white, and they're on the move again. Julien did just enough, but here come Real Betis again. Isco looking for Fran Garcia.
So good in possession when they get that ball back. They always choose the right option, pass with a real intensity and a real crispness to it. And usually forward and get them moving on that front foot. Very impressed with Betis tonight. Really good performance from them. Pellegrini will be delighted.
Well, they've got a huge season ahead of them with a return to the Champions League. Only ever played in that competition once in their history, back in 2005. As Arsenal come forward down the left with Martinelli, they've beaten the offside trap here. Martinelli looks for Gabriel Jesus, and he's put it wide.
Super play from Martinelli, real injection of pace, ball in behind. He's so good at, leave Bellerin for dead. There was a time he wouldn't have been able to do that, but he gets back on his right foot, picks up Gabriel Jesus, just tries to arc it into that near post. Better from Arsenal.
First major opportunity that Arsenal have had since the break. 3 imminent changes for Real Betis, including the arrival of the former Manchester United man, Anthony. Diego Llorente, formerly of Leeds, is there as well. Good strong challenge from Bellerin, who is such a favourite at the Emirates. Hugely popular figure during his time in North London.
Yeah, he was for a couple of years there. He was the quickest player in the Premier League. His top speeds every year was far and away the quickest. Obviously years of catching up with him here, but great servant to Arsenal. Really good player.
Isco, beautifully done. Pablo Fornals. Quite so clever. Ranieri is there for Arsenal. Nice from Martinelli. Tackles beginning to bite. Betis get the free kick. Vieira's challenge brings the whistle. And the referee just checking whether Real Betis want to make that trio of changes now. Kelmy skips away from Julien. He's inside the penalty area. Disappointing cross though.
Great bit of skill. You wouldn't have seen just before that as the opposite movement to take Julien away. Just made a run in behind, put the young midfield player with him, and then dropped short to feet and nutmegged him with the cherry on top. Beautiful play from him. That's twice now he's caught those young Arsenal players out. Superb bits of skill.
Fornals has got it back, scorer of the third goal for Real Betis tonight. Isco, who really should have got the fourth. Martinelli for Nelson. Nobody in yellow ahead of him at the moment. Bunch of green and white between him and the Betis penalty area. Ranieri, Nelson, Gabriel. Ibrahim. Julien. Nelson. Defending from Betis once more. It's forced back to Ranieri.
That little move there, just what I'm talking about from Ibrahim, 44 there in the middle of the park. Just bunks the pass wide, gets it back, plays forward, follows it. Just injects a little bit of pace and tempo into this Arsenal attack. Love to see stuff like that from young kids.
Ibrahim. Yake. Gabriel. Ranieri keep it in. Just, but all to no avail. And the roll out for Isco as the three substitutes of Betis wait patiently on the sidelines. They've been stripped and ready to come on for a good few minutes now.
Get a little bit impatient, hope the ball goes out of play.
It's the last 20 minutes. And the score hasn't altered since half-time. Betis still 3-1 to the good. And good for that advantage. Have played ever so well this evening. Albeit Arsenal have been very much under par. And now Betis will make their changes. All three coming on, have played in the Premier League before. Diego Llorente and Junior Firpo for Leeds United. Anthony with that spell at Manchester United. Bartra, Pablo Garcia and Fran Garcia are the three who have made way. Like-for-like changes. Pablo Garcia, who has really impressed down the right-hand side. Anthony will fulfil that role, of course. Llorente, the centre-half, in for Mark Bartra. And Junior Firpo, back up, left back at the moment, behind Fran Garcia.
Yeah, Pablo Garcia, best player on the pitch tonight, in and out of possession. Real tenacious performance from him. Give Calafiori a real tough time down that side in the first half. He can be really pleased with his night's work.
Reece Nelson has spent the last 2 seasons on loan away from the Emirates. Brentford last season and Fulham the season before. Julian had made the run, but the pass too strong for him.
Yeah, good run. The gap was there, it was on. Pass just slightly overhit from Salmon.
Got underneath that. His first touch is a good one. Finding Isco. Now Junior Firpo. Far side is Bellerin. And acres of room. Decent crossing, Gabriel. Had to backpedal to get it away. Diossa.
I can't tell how good that header was from Gabriel. Just took up that position near post, and it was a superb ball in from Bellerin, but he picked up the flight of it really well and just backpedaled. Managed to get it out of the width of the goal and out of harm's way.
That's a nice touch from Riquelme, and Pablo Fornals is onto it. Facundo Bernal. Clumsy challenge from Gabriel Jesus. Well, it was always going to be a night when Mikel Arteta used just about everybody that was off the team coach. And 3 more alterations now. 3 more youngsters. And Gabriel hasn't played very long, has he? But just to get some minutes in the legs. Martinelli also coming off. Both came on at the break, so they've played 30 minutes. Three coming on. Braden Clark, a Welsh under-19 international. Kadak O'Neill, who has played for the senior Northern Ireland team. And Ismail Kabia from the Netherlands.
I just hope that Gabriel one was a planned substitution. He got 30 minutes, but it was an odd 30 minutes to give him. You know, give him the first 30 or the last 30, but I just hope there's no issue there with him and he hasn't been taken off as a precaution. I'm just looking at him down the bench there. There's no physios at him, so I would imagine that was planned.
The England World Cup quartet, Rice, Saka, Madueke and Eze will be back from their World Cup break imminently. Next Sunday is the next game for Arsenal. They're taking on Borussia Dortmund in the Emirates Cup. Dortmund, who finished second in the Bundesliga. And next Wednesday they've got Cesc Fabregas's Como in North London. And what a job he's doing in Italy. Guided his team to 4th last term, ahead of Milan and Juventus, and they'll take part in the Champions League for the first time in their history.
Yeah, and I think we're only 11 days out from the Community Shield. which before was kind of used as a pre-season friendly, but seems to have taken on a little bit more bite in the last couple of years.
Bellerin is in here again for Betis. Riquelme with a chance for number 4. Well, I'm sure if we look at the stats tonight in terms of possession, Damien, Arsenal will have bossed that, but in terms of chances, Betis have run away with it.
Yeah, the possession Arsenal have had involved in the wrong areas. It's all been in their own defensive third or in and around the halfway line. Betis have let them have that. But Betis has been so efficient and so economical when they have got into that attacking third. Bellerin getting around the back there, and give credit to number 45, Julien, did really, really well to get back and put Riquelme off. But this is a youthful, very, very youthful looking Arsenal side that's going to finish this game.
Plenty of opportunities for the kids tonight and on Saturday, but those opportunities will begin to reduce as more and more of the top players come back into the frame as he also tries again. The 4 English lads, of course. There's a Spanish contingent. Raya and Marino, there's Martin Odegaard, who's had an extended spell away from the pre-season spotlight, but he has been in training of late. Cabia for Arsenal. Julien. Salmon, Vieira, Oganyake far side. That's a good ball. Gabriel Jesus was in. Llorente got across smartly and did enough.
Just couldn't quite get it under a spell. Decent little ball, well-worked moves. Defender does pretty well to stand his ground there.
It's a delightful ball from Kedak O'Neill. But smart defending by Llorente. He only came on a few moments ago. Here come Arsenal again. Hammered away by Bernal. Only 2 signings that Betis have made thus far over the summer. Uruguayan arrived on a 5-year deal from Fluminense. Cabia. Away from Riquelme. Looks promising. Vieira couldn't bring it down and get a shot away in the same movement, so Anthony can carry it clear for Betis. Pablo Fornals for Diosa. Isco. Riquelme. From Isco. An error that Arsenal are unable to make the most of. It's Nelson, the culprit, and here's Anthony for Betis. Scored against Arsenal 35 minutes into his Manchester United debut. He's linked up with Riquelme. Here's Isco. Just dribbles his way through very easily. Pablo Fornals. Betis looking the more likely side to change this scoreline at the moment. A night when they have really impressed. Centre forward. Pablo Fornals.
Really bossing no Betis. These young Arsenal players really struggling with the pace and the intricacy that this Betis side have in possession.
Carlos from Anthony, straight to Nelson. Jesus. Well, they finished the game with a collection of teenagers on the pitch, Arsenal. And I know pre-season results, it's not all that matters, but how concerned will Mikel Arteta be about tonight's performance as a whole?
Yeah, but I think listen, he showed up tonight with a game plan where they went out 3 at the back and Calafiori went in. Remember, Arsenal won the league last year, really solid, really good shape, really difficult to play against. And then relied heavily on set pieces. If he is looking to have a shift this year, Mikel Arteta, and obviously I know there's a lot of players to come in, Bruno Guimaraes, Odegaard, Declan Rice, but he'd be a little bit concerned with the ease at which they were got at by Betis. I think after that goal, when I said he called Calafiori over, that's when he kind of abandoned that setup, and Calafiori started being more of an orthodox traditional left-back. But it will weigh on his mind a little bit, but he won't be too concerned. As I said at the top of the show, the most important thing is just don't get injured in pre-season, because it's your base for the year, and Betis just had a couple of more subs.
Yeah, just to confirm those changes, Valentin Gomez has come on, an Argentinian, and so too has Jose Antonio Marante, a 19-year-old who's been at the club since the age of 15, recently signed a new deal. This has been an excellent night for Manuel Pellegrini. And with what we've seen from them this evening, they might fancy their chance of making some kind of impact in the league stage of the Champions League and getting it through to the knockout stage, which would be a real feather in their cap.
Yeah, I think there's a whole host of Spanish teams, just that top tier down from Atletico, Real and Barca. When you look at the likes of Villarreal, Valencia, Betis, probably another few that I could mention that have played in Europe and Champions League, and certainly with the format in the Champions League this year, they will look to get into the knockout stages, and they've proved tonight they're more than a capable side. But pre-season is still pre-season, and trust me, I've been in pre-seasons where we've been brilliant and then lost the first game of the season, and also been absolutely terrible in pre-season and went on to have a brilliant year. So it is very difficult to predict. Managers just more worried about injuries, and young Louis Coatley, you know, that's a setback for him, and I think Arteta will feel that one tonight for that young kid, having come through the bulk of pre-season and done all the work. It's a sickener for him.
It's Marante who's lost his boot there. It's like slippers these days, of course, aren't they?
Apparently you get a free kick for it now if your boot comes off.
Nicely done by Ibrahim. Nelson. Vignac. Vieira. Bellerin clears in a good position to do so, and Isco gets his head up before feeding Anthony. Salmon the man in his way. Harshly booed ever since he's picked up the ball, Anthony, in his brief cameo. That's what playing for Manchester United does for you when you take on Arsenal.
I'd say that amongst other things. He wasn't the most popular player in the Premier League. Some of his antics, so people remember him for that, a lot of that as well. But he did have a tough time with it, in fairness to him.
He relaunched his career at Real Betis. Good hand in their route to the UEFA Conference League final in 2025. Wading with plenty of goals last season, 14 in all competitions. Inside the last minute now. This is Morante. He'll hold on to it brilliantly before feeding Junior Firpo. Is there a flourish from Real Betis in these closing stages? Oh, the pass just evaded and Isco, but it's kept alive. And it's Junior Firpo, and then it's hammered skywards by Salmon. Out of time to play. Quite a few green seats visible in the stadium. Plenty of Arsenal fans seemingly decided to call an end to this one prior to the final whistle.
It's always the way pre-season friendly deals seem to peter out as soon as you make that many changes at half-time. Young kids coming in.
Just trying to do the maths. I think Arsenal have made 14 changes in the second half. Furiously scribbling them down as the boards were held up. It's an exercise in itself. Jesus chasing and will keep it in. Faced by Llorente. Decent ball in, but Nathan ensured that he got there first. Betis can clear their lines with Isco, but he couldn't help it on. Nelson collects for Arsenal. Trying to line up the shot here, but couldn't get it away. Fabio Vieira's cross, picking out Gabriel Jesus' back post. He'll get the shot away, but it's beyond the far post, and it's offside anyway against Vieira.
Big year for him as well, Gabriel Jesus. He missed the bulk of last year through injury, and he'll come back with a point to prove. Certainly add to Arsenal's options at the top end of the pitch. Look at Gyökeres, Havertz, Gabriel Jesus. He'll certainly feel like he should be starting every week.
Yeah, for him, he needs to avoid injuries, doesn't he? That has blighted his Arsenal career in the last two campaigns, and at his best he can be such an asset in front of goal.
He has looked sharp tonight since he's come on. That little snapshot there that he had. He's ran in behind a few times as well, so people like him, this pre-season is huge. The more minutes he can get, the sharper he'll be. Get a good, nice, solid foundation for the season. Hopefully have a big part to play. He's a super player, and super player to have in your squad. His work rate, the way he carries himself, the way he plays the game, super.
Julian. Betis have worked so hard all night, and that, coupled with some excellent finishing, has given them an emphatic 3-1 victory at the Aviva tonight. Mikel Arteta will be disappointed with the performance, disappointed with the result, but will point to the fact that it's just pre-season friendly, and he's got some of his major stars coming back into the fold in the next few days, and they still have Borussia Dortmund, Como to come before the Community Shield against Manchester City, before the big kick-off against newly promoted Coventry to begin their defence of the Premier League title. But Real Betis, comfortable winners tonight. Arsenal 1, Betis 3. And in all honesty, it could have been more emphatic. Their first ever defeat in Ireland. On a night when it was about getting minutes in legs, and a whole host of youngsters were given opportunities out on the pitch. And poor old Louis Copley, Damien, who was only on the pitch for a matter of minutes before he picked up that knee injury that looks like it might be a bad one.
Yeah, look, I really feel for the kid, you know, because he's come through the whole of pre-season, did all the work, gets minutes on the pitch. And listen, the season will move on, and in the grand scheme of things, it won't hurt Arsenal too much, but I understand how that kid must feel tonight, probably staring down the barrel of a long-term injury. And it's tough, you know. I've been on the receiving end of that myself, and it's a long road on your own, working away in the gym, beavering away in the gym, trying to get back. And you probably felt if he gets in the Arsenal team, gets himself in the shop window, perhaps hangs around the Arsenal first team training, or gets himself out on loan, that would have been his ambition. And I just feel sorry for him tonight, going home probably in a knee brace, in for a scan the next couple of days to find out the extent of the damage. So that aside, I don't think Arteta will be too upset with the result. Obviously, you like to win games of football, but as I said, it's minutes and legs. One thing with pre-season is you never know where the team are in their training block. How many, they played Girona, they could have had a tough couple of days in training, lots of minutes on the training pitch, which doesn't always help when you come into a game like this and you do look a little bit flat, and they did look a little bit flat tonight.
Let's get some reaction from the Arsenal camp then. Let's see who Sarah's got with her downstairs.
Yeah, I'm here with Riccardo Calafiori and Miles Lewis Skelly after that pre-season warm-up, a friendly obviously, but I'm sure you guys would have wanted to won that match. Just give us your reaction first of all, Riccardo.
Yeah, of course, we always want to win, and at the end we couldn't today. I think in some ways they deserve as well. We could have done better, but of course I take the positive. I take the good actions that we did, the good moments that we had, and we continue on this way.
Miles, what were you all hoping to get from that match then tonight? What did you want to work on?
Again, it's another opportunity for fitness. Definitely, I feel like coming into a game of teams of both quality, it's important that we get good fitness out of the game. But yeah, it's a chance to build momentum for the season ahead, and I feel like again we're taking steps in the right direction. Of course, we want more from the performance and the result, but we take learning and we move on.
How has the summer been then, off the back obviously of becoming Premier League champions? How does that impact coming back into the team?
Yeah, I feel like all of us together, we know we want to share